Hi, hello and welcome from wherever you join me today. Yes, it's me again, Jim Black from the Three Hat Stage Media channel, trying to provide entertaining content media for all the world's stages. This is a Pause for Thought edition where I review one of my favourite movies and see what messages we can take from it and how we could use those insights in today's busy lives. All the movies I review come from over the past several decades, some you may know and some you may not. They come from a book or screenplay, have a great cast and a fabulous soundtrack. As you can see from the lightbox just to my side, I didn't have enough letters, but it's The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind from 2004. The screenplay is by Charlie Kaufman and there's an all-star cast. You've got Jim Carrey as Joel Barish. You've got Kate Winslet as Clementine Krasinski. The supporting cast is just as good, with Mark Ruffalo, you may know him as the Incredible Hulk, and Elijah Wood. And did you know his first movie was Back to the Future 2, where he played a boy playing a video game? You've got Kirsten Dunst, with far too many movies to mention. And then there's David Cross. He's Joel's friend in this. If you close your eyes and listen to him, you may recognise that he's the voice of Crane in Kung Fu Panda. Then you've also got Tom Wilkinson, and who could forget him as Gerald in The Full Monty? Another possible review for the future. So I ask, is it right, the world forgetting the world forgot? And isn't there a better way of changing the past than erasing it? Let's get right into this review and find out. Have you ever wanted to clear a memory, erase it, wipe it out? And would that be possible anyway? Because the others that are involved in that memory are still around. The people, the things, the places. So you'd have to wipe out all of those as well, surely. Is it all about forgetting a world that's been forgot? Or is there another way to do it? The story follows Joel and him finding out that Clementine, the girl that he's loved, has wiped out every memory about him. So in order for him not to be reminded of it, he decides to go through the same process. But will he find, during the process, when he's losing all those memories, that he'll actually like it? Let's follow his story through the movie as we look at the plot. The story begins with Joel taking a day off work and going to the beach. This is where he meets Clementine, and on the way back they begin to chat and start to form a relationship. Clementine wants Joel to go to a frozen lake and look at the stars with her, which is quite scary for him. Joel's character is a loner, he's a bit creative, and he's very introverted. He has trouble talking to people, and he lives on his own. Clementine, however, she's got colourful hair, she's a free spirit, and she's exactly what Joel has been looking for. After the trip to the frozen lake, where they're looking at the stars, Joel takes Clementine back home and drops her off. This is where the story changes completely. And we find that we've moved on slightly. And this is where Joel discovers that Clementine has had all the memories of him wiped out. Obviously he's a little unhappy because when he's talking to different people, they still remember Clementine and the relationships they had. So he sets out to find out how she did it and why she did it. At the place where she had it done, which is run by Tom Wilkinson, we find that it's a place that can map your brain, memories that you want to erase, and then while you sleep, they will take those memories away as if they didn't exist in the first place. Joel decides he wants it done. So he's asked to bring in all his things that remind him of Clementine, and they set about mapping his brain with all the memories that's triggered by the things that he brings in. He's sent home, he falls asleep, and the doctors move in, set up the things for his brain and start wiping out each memory. What we find though is that as each memory is being taken, erased, we see these memories happening, the different points of the relationship from when they met to the end. It's a great bit of filming because the guys that wrote it and directed it decided to shoot it all on old style cameras, old style lighting and old style audio to give the effect that it's from the past, i.e. a memory. As the night progresses, we find out some stories about the people that are doing the erasing and the different relationships they have and the complicated lives that they also have. But we see Joel's memories disappearing. But Joel's only semi-conscious. He's still in a state where he can see the memories disappearing from his mind as he sleeps. As he sees them disappearing, his Clementine, he believes that it might be the wrong thing he's doing, because why would he want to wipe out something as good as that when he was possibly partly to blame for the breakup of the relationship in the first place? Anyway, as the night draws to a close and the memories start to get fewer and fewer because they've erased most of them, Joel decides that he's going to fight to save the last few memories because he doesn't really want it done. Of course, the doctors don't know this because he's asleep and he's in that conscious state where they're erasing his memory. There's some breakdowns with the machinery and they don't know what to do. After it all finishes and they clear up and move out, Joel wakes up. But has he saved the relationship? This is where the usual thing, it's a spoiler alert and I don't give them, but only to say that the end of a story is always the beginning of the next. Will it work out? You're going to have to watch the movie to find out. Also, you're going to have to find out about all the relationships with Tom Wilkinson, Kirsten, and Mark Ruffalo, and Elijah Wood, because some twists and turns in this movie that are really good. It's an adult movie with adult themes, but you know, we're all adults that are watching this, and we're all adults that would watch the movie. They're things that happen to us all, even though they're in movie format in a story being told. You need to relate to these things, and some of you will, and some of you won't. The main thing we want to learn from this is memories that we do want to erase, and some of them are bad, you're going to have to do something to suppress them. There's no machine that's going to wipe them out completely. But if they were really bad, maybe you can make sure that you don't put yourself in those positions again for those bad memories to keep coming back. But also look at all the memories that you've got. Those with your children, those with the ones you love, the things you do, the places you work. These are all things that you can look at and see if you can do better, because at the end of the day, it's all about the individual making the world a better place. If we're rushed and focused, we'll miss things, and we definitely don't want to do that. There's some great trivia in this movie. Did you know that a lot of movies use colour from light to dark to explain a character's transformation from one to the other, or from dark to light, depending on which way they're going? With Clementine, we see bright colours turning into more subdued colours, and she finally ends up with brown, which represents the sort of mood she's in at the end of her journey with the relationship. You'll see it in Breaking Bad as well. Walter White has a very pale colour to start with of clothing, and it gets darker and darker as he turns into Heisenberg, and we all know what happens there, or do we? The story is based on Alexander Pope's poem, Eloisa to Abelard, and it goes, "How blameless is the Vestal's lot, the world forgetting the world forgot. Eternal sunshine of the spotless mind, each prayer accepted, each wish resigned." And it's also used in another one of Charlie Kaufman's movies, Being John Malkovich. Just thought you'd like to know that. A final bit of movie trivia attached to this is that there's an ad hoc scene where there's a parade with elephants and people. Nobody knew it was going to happen apart from the movie makers, the cast, the film crew. And if you listen very carefully, there's some reporters that see Jim Carrey and want to interview him. And although they've taken most of it out, you can just hear, "Can we talk?" faintly in the background as we see the scene acted out on the screen. The movie has got some great tracks in it. Everybody's Got to Learn Sometime by Beck is especially good. You've also got bands such as The Willows, Polyphonic and ELO. And there's some great background music in Clementine's Apartment by Mohammed Rafi and Lata Mangeshkar. I've said that really slow so that I've tried to get it right. I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you'd like to know where my thoughts and inspirations come from, please click on the links in the bio below and they'll take you for a closer look. If you want to subscribe and be a part of our community, please do so. And if you want to know when the next one is uploaded, hit the notification bell. Comments are always welcome, and I'll do my best to get back to you as and when I can. I've been Jim Black for the Three Hats Stage Media channel for this edition of Pause for Thought. See you again soon.